I care about them. I mean, I would love to shit on them in the same way that I would love to shit on the Los Angeles Lakers claiming the Minneapolis titles.
Yeah.
He actually said, "I will die out there."
I believe him.
Don't die out. Don't do that. That would be
Say
a real
it.
bummer, man.
Say it, but don't really like injure yourself. Don't do that.
The highest
So
volume
much
of
confetti.
that I have ever seen, and they wasted no time. They just fucking dropped that shit.
Boom. Jason,
Yeah.
I had a thought. It's the end of the season. The end of the season has officially arrived. We're going to spend a bunch of time talking about the Celtics and the Mavs and the playoffs and all of that. But for the opening of this show, I wanted to take a look at the end of the show. We do a thing at the end of every show. We make a joke. Ha ha ha. We did it again. Another perfect episode. Flawless or whatever. Right? Every time.
Yeah.
But what I want to do now that we're at the end of the show is actually let's look backwards at some of our earlier episodes and let's see, were we actually perfect? We made some predictions in there. Let's go to like 2 or 3 of them and see if we actually did it. Did we do it right? Did we do a good job? Idea. Were we actually perfect? All right, Zuri, can you pull up?
We should hold ourselves accountable because
that's exactly right.
That's the difference between us and other shows.
That's what's missing in NBA media today. Nobody wants to hold themselves accountable when they make a mistake.
That's right.
We're going to do that because we have integrity and honor, strength and honor, Jason.
That's right.
Zuri, can you pull up? Zuri, can you pull up the episode we recorded right at the very start of the season, the very first episode? I think we recorded it like 2 days before this season actually started. Can we hear that? All right, Jason. The NBA season starts in 2 days, Jason. 2 days. Give me a prediction. Let's go.
Whoa, I can't believe it. I can't wait.
Let's go just as far down the line as possible. Tell me who wins the finals and how many games and who is the finals MVP.
You got it. Let's see. Well, I'm going to pick the, begrudgingly, I'm going to pick the Boston Celtics. Gosh, who would they? I mean, this is a long shot, but I bet you, I think they beat the Mavericks in the finals.
Oh wow, Mavs.
In 5 games, and I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say Jaylen Brown is the Finals MVP. I might get a lot of heat for this later. I might look real silly.
Holy shit, Jason! You got it exactly right.
Whoa!
I can't even. Oh my god!
Well, I don't. I gotta admit, I'm a little surprised. I had forgotten that we had done that. It's wow. Unbelievable.
All right, let's do another one. Zuri, can you pull up the trade deadline show? We made some predictions in that one.
Wow, Shay, what a crazy trade deadline to the season. A lot of big changes coming in. Here we are in the midst of the 2023-2024 season. I wanted to ask you, we've been making a lot of predictions over the course of the pod. Let's make a couple more. Who do you think at the end of this season will be the winner of let's say the NBA Social Justice Champion Award? Because I think the other awards, it's easy. Rookie of the Year, we get it. Wemby, we know.
Yeah.
Like but let's really try for the hard ones.
You take off the table the Joker, he's probably going to win MVP. Rudy Gobert's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Naz Reid probably going to win Sixth Man of the Year. Tyrese Maxey probably Most Improved Player of the Year. Clutch Player probably Steph Curry. I don't know. Coach of the Year maybe Mark Daigneault. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Executive of the Year Brad Stevens. Teammate of the Year Mike Conley. I don't know, but Social Justice Award. I'm going to go Cat. I'm going to go Karl Anthony Towns. That's my pick.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Another one, Jason. I think I got every single one of those correct. This is crazy.
Incredible.
All right. Let's do one more. Let's do one last one. No, let's go right after All-Star break. The teams are sort of settled into place. We're headed toward the playoffs. Let's go see what we were predicting at that moment. Zuri, can you pull that up, please?
Well, I can't believe we're already here at the All-Star break.
It's crazy. It's already over. Always in the playoffs, there's always an injury. There's always 1 or 2 or 3 injuries
that's right.
affect things or don't affect things. You picked the Celtics as your finals champion. Give me a Celtics injury that's going to happen that, just like take a wild guess, that may or may not affect things.
You know, the thing about injuries is they are unpredictable, but I would not be super surprised to see torn medial retinaculum, dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon to, particularly a big, maybe like Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh my God. So far,
Whoa.
Jason, zero accountability has to be paid right now. We've nailed every single thing. This is crazy.
God, are we perfect?
I think
I never really thought about it, but I think we are really the perfect pod.
I think we might be. I think we should just go ahead, and I was going to do some more. I assume they're all going to be exactly correct. We should just get into the show. You want to get into the show? From Wondery, I'm Shea Serrano.
And I'm Jason Concepcion.
If we can see the future here on 6 trophies. Perfect. Zero accountability required.
Hello, I'm Jason Concepcion. Welcome to 6 Trophies, podcast series hosted by myself and Shea Serrano, in which we comb through all the NBA news from the past week and hand out 6 pop culture themed trophies for 6 basketball related activities. In this episode, who should get the most credit for the Celtics' 18th title win? Congratulations to them. Luka Doncic? Is he a fraud? Kyrie Irving has been cast as the new lead in The Invisible Man, all that and more. Zuri wrote these, and he writes these all the time, so don't get mad at me. Let's hand out some trophies.
We do 2 sets of trophies, the big trophies and the little trophies. The big trophies are first. These ones are the same every week. First up, the Denzel Washington and Training Day Trophy, given out to whoever it is who had the best overall performance. This week's winner, it's got to be them, your beloved Boston Celtics, 2024 NBA champions. It happened. I kind of can't believe that it happened, but also it felt like it was absolutely going to happen.
This was an incredible feat of team building, team construction. This is a team that looked hard in the mirror at the personnel they had and the core that they had in Tatum and Brown. And credit to Brad Stevens, made moves that needed to be made, scooped up Drew Holiday, sent Marcus Smart, who was so important to the team over its
that's the
early
one
to mid development.
That's the one.
Sent him
right
out.
there.
Time Lord out, various players who were so important to various runs that this team had made. And they got it done. They got it done in dominating fashion without ever having, their star players really go off offensively. I mean, Tatum had 31 on 11-24, but it was really his rebounding, his passing. Same with Brown, whose defense and rebounding and passing, their ability to defend multiple positions. They never really had the offensive shooting explosion happen, and they won despite that against a very, very dangerous Mavs team. Shouts to the Celtics, well deserved. I hate it, but a well deserved win.
I felt really good about Tatum and about Jason and Jalen getting this championship. We talked about it before. It's really cool to see this superstar pair be together for 6-7 years and then get it done. It felt like everybody's always talking about, I miss the old NBA when players didn't bounce around and blah, blah, blah. You have that. Right. That's right here. We're looking exactly at, it took, Jordan 7-8 years before he won his first title. It took LeBron a number, they did exactly what you are looking for in a superstar duo to do. The Celtics built a team around these 2 guys. They just kept adding pieces around them, stacking it up a little higher. They were always in contention. It felt like Eastern Conference Finals over and over and over again. Semifinals, even made it to the finals one time before. And then they finally break through here and they win. And it was just cool to see them celebrating afterwards, to see him. You love to see him crying. You love to see Tatum with his boy. It just all felt good. It felt good. A part of me wanted the Mavs to win. I think more of me wanted to see them lose, which was, I was having a tremendous time watching the Celtics just run them off the court. But it felt good that they won this championship.
It felt really good. It was, I have to say, the most density of confetti, the highest
So
volume
much
of
confetti.
confetti that I have ever seen. And they wasted no time. They just fucking dropped that shit.
Boom!
Boom! Like blizzard of confetti. Like I remember I went back after watching this. I was like, wait a second. I went back and watched the Nuggets title celebration, and it was like a drizzle of confetti in comparison. Like, this is how you do confetti.
It
You
was like
fucking go crazy.
the Celtics have been the on paper champions for like the past 4 straight years. And it was like every year they just bought confetti to celebrate, and then they couldn't use it. And then they bought more, and then another batch, and then another batch. And finally they were just like, fuck it, just put it all out there. That would, I agree with you. That's what it should look like. You should barely be able to see any, you should be squinting at your TV trying to see where
like,
do they go? Where's everybody? What am I looking at?
I want to see the players like trying to find each other through the confetti. Like, and that's what it was. It was ridiculous. It was actually insane. Like, I was like, is this a hazard? Is this a fire hazard? Is this a health hazard? This is incredible. It looked amazing.
I was really excited about Al Horford getting his ring, but who doesn't like Al Horford? You know what I mean? Even if you hate the Celtics, you're like,
I don't.
Yeah, right? You could hate the Celtics, but
like
you can't. Wait, you don't like Al Horford?
Listen. I was listening to the Low Post over the last several weeks. It's like, and Zach Lowe and guests talking about, there's so many fans of Al Horford around the league. They can't wait for Al. There's so many people pulling for Al Horford. They can't wait for him to win. And then after the Celtics won the title, it's like, so many people, everybody around the league is happy for Al Horford. Fuck Al Horford. I'm not happy.
What?
No. I am upset whenever anybody wins a title. I'm a hater, as I've said before, and I wanted nothing more than for Al to not get a title with his dad sitting courtside, cheering along every play. I wanted him to get stoned for his career and not get one. But he got one, so congratulations to him.
With Horford winning, he finally gets one. James Harden now in the spot, the active record holder for the most amount of playoff games played without a championship, which that's where he belongs. That's his title. That belongs to him. He should for sure have that. I was also very happy about Derek White winning a championship. Spurs legend Derek White, who just it seemed like as the season went on became more and more important to that team, to the point where you were like, you don't want to see him sit down at any point if you're watching the Celtics game, even when they're up by 29 or whatever. I kind of want to see Derek White in here because he just makes all of the right plays. He does all of the good stuff. Drew Holiday getting vindication. The Milwaukee Bucks said, we can't win a championship with this guy on our team. Let's get him out of here. He's not as important as maybe people think he is. And then he goes to Boston and he gets the championship. I was very happy for Drew Holiday.
It's so fascinating over the course of this Celtics run, ever since they, drafted Brown and Tatum, to see how the Celtics have seemingly swindled the Philadelphia 76ers numerous times, beginning with the trading down to take Tatum so that the Sixers could get Fultz. And then with the Sixers, after Al Horford put in an incredible yeoman's work for a couple, 3 seasons with the Celtics after his run with the Hawks and Oklahoma City to go to the Celtics in 2016-19. And then he signs with the 76ers as a free agent and stinks. Now that was more about the Sixers team construction, but it really felt like an undercover sting operation. It's like, yeah, Al, go to the Sixers and suck, and then we'll pick you up on the backside. Now he had needed to go to Oklahoma City first, and they needed to trade him from there. But I'm telling you, it just feels like at every turn when given the chance, the Celtics have stuck it to the Sixers, and it's really just notable to me.
I thought it was also super cool the thing of how when the Celtics won the championship in 2008, they won it on June 17th. And then when they come back and they win this one, they also win it on June 17th. And then also the only reason that the Celtics were able to sort of acquire Tatum and Brown was because of the trade, the Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett trade to the Nets for all of those draft picks.
Just good deal.
Two of which that became Brown and Tatum in 2016, 2017. Like it just all snapped together in a fun, cool way. I was excited. I was happy. I love basketball.
You know, I look at the Celtics and I think it's really aspirational the way they have approached their team build over this particular run. The clear-eyed way they went about things. They looked at players and said, we really like this guy, but maybe he's not the right fit around the core. I think with this particular team, they said, you know, there's been so much conversation about like, Tatum, is he a top 5 guy? Is he a bottom 10 guy? Like, is he 5 through 9? Is he 9 through 12? Like, where is he? Is he really the best? Is he an MVP candidate? Blah, blah, blah. I think that Brad looked at the guys that he has and just said, forget like where they are in the pecking order. These are I need to put these type of players around them. So it's not just about those two guys carrying us over the finish line all the time. And they did it. They did it. Don't get caught up in the rankings. This is a great team. And it's amazing the way they put it together.
To that point, if this is a success pie that has just been baked, a giant, beautiful success pie, who gets the biggest piece of the pie? Because you can make an argument for Tatum, you can make an argument for Brown, you can make an argument for Joe Mazzulla, who they slid him in there after Ime Udoka set himself on fire. You can make an argument for Brad Stevens, who you just mentioned. Like there's so many people who you could go like, that's the reason that they won this championship. But if you have to pick one, who gets the biggest slice of the success pie, Jason?
I think Tatum and Brown get the biggest slice because of
they're going to share it jointly. All right,
they should share it jointly, like the way they share this title, because of the way they've shut out the noise, ignored the conversation that Jason Kidd tried to spark it up, right? You know, in the middle of the series, you know, like, you know, they pushed all of that aside, didn't go overly hero ball. Like the amount of times where you're watching at the end of the shot clock as like Tatum and Brown you dance with the ball as like an offensive possession goes like astray is really minimal. They plug themselves into the team concept, bought in, and they were the ones out there. I give them the lion's share of the credit. And of course, Brad and the strategies and the moves is really important. And Joe being, I think you need a weirdo. That's the other thing for a coach. I think you need a weirdo. I think you got to have a super, super bizarre weirdo coach. And they did that. And so shouts to the entire organization. Yeah,
he's got to have a thing. Your coach has to have a thing. Like Phil Jackson was like the mind games guy.
Yeah.
Popovich has been the like straight shooter guy. Joe Mazzulla, just a little bit slightly eccentric weirdo, which we love.
Pat Riley with the
slick back. Yeah. He was, the Wall Street guy. Like Joe Mazzulla slid in there perfect. He was already carrying himself with a seriousness that made you feel like, oh, this guy, like if you didn't know better, you said this guy's probably won like 2 or 3 championships already. But now he has one for real. That ring he gets to throw around. And I can't wait to see what kind of weird shit he does and says next season. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
Next trophy. The Lord Hill, you might win some, but you just lost one trophy given out to whoever it is at the worst performance of the week. Oh, this week's winner might. Luka and Kyrie. Poor guys. We just couldn't get it done. That's all that it was. You ran up against a bigger, stronger, faster, better team. What are you going to do?
Let me ask you, do you put anything behind Kyrie's inability to win over now a not insignificant number of games in Boston? I think it's 13 games lost in Boston now, and another game in which he did not play well in Boston. Do you make anything of it? Do you think it's in his head? Do you make anything of Kyrie's disappearing act in Boston, his inability to really play well in Boston over this run?
I think more than anything in his head, I think he just ran into a team that defends what he does really, really well. That's all that it was. Like, you know, the series before, when they're playing Minnesota, you weren't looking at Drew Holiday and Derek White and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, all of whom are just fucking devils on the perimeter. They're all bigger than he is. They're all stronger than he is. They looked to be just as quick as he is. And it's like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? Like, sometimes that just happens. Sometimes you just play a team of tough defenders. It's what it felt like to me watching. Cause every shot was a tough shot. He did miss a couple of open ones. I imagine at some point he was frustrated or annoyed, but when you're the guy who hit the shot, the game 7 shot to win a championship for a team that hadn't won in half a century on the road, you get the benefit of people going, he probably wasn't scared. I don't think he was nervous. I think they just defended him well.
I think that's probably fair. And, I think Luka came in for a ton of criticism. A lot of it fair, this series. I mean, Brian Windhorst, laid into him with both barrels on television in a screed that felt like it actually kind of affected something. Like, they came out and put a historic beatdown on the Boston Celtics, historic for an NBA Finals matchup. And it felt like it moved the needle. He's playing through injury. He's got that crazy chest contusion. He been limping around for basically the entire playoffs. His kneecap in the same spot has been bleeding for the entire postseason.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that enough.
Check this out.
We should look into that. We should look into that.
He's been bleeding for a month and a half from the same spot on his leg. And he's been asked to carry a tremendous offensive load. And so some of the criticism felt like it didn't take that into account, but also he is a guy that needs to figure out how to communicate with the refs in a way that doesn't hurt the rest of the team. But I think this is a step. This is why teams often have to get to a finals and lose before they take that next step. And I think when you have players like Luka and Kyrie, it's absolutely fair to consider this as a step in their progression. So I think, they'll be back.
I think that's exactly right. You joked in the intro about him being a fraud. It's certainly not that. He's one of the 2 or 3 best players in the NBA. You look at he leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists in the postseason. Like, this is a guy who's doing all this stuff. The thing you're saying though about them having to lose, it feels like that's where we are, because if you don't lose and somebody's in your ear like, hey man, you can't keep doing this with the refs. You can't keep complaining in this sort of way. You can't keep you're telling him that, but he has won at every level so far.
That's right.
And it's like, why would I change that? Now, when somebody sits him down and says, hey, you can't do that, because remember what happened last year in the finals when we got fucking run off the court? Like, it's the same as what we saw with Anthony Edwards after they lost. And he was like, man, I need to train harder in the offseason so that I'm ready for this moment. Like, they have to go through that to get to that. This was Dirk in 2006. You got to become the guy to become the guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same thing here. It did feel like history was lining up on their side. It was like, oh, this feels like 2011 Mavericks. They might be able to pull this off. And then you realize, oh shit, the team on the other side has already gone through it. They already went to the finals and lost. They were ready for this moment more than our guys were. Our guys were better than your guys.
You got to let people touch the stove. It's like kids when they want to touch the stove.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let them touch the stove so they realize, oh, that's painful. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the Mavs are now.
Yeah. We have a pool in our backyard for the kids and a little French bulldog. And one time he decided he was going to jump in the pool. I know what I'm doing. Jumped in and fucking sank like a stone straight to the bottom. Couldn't swim at all. And he's just looking up like, I guess this is where I live now. I'm just down here for the rest of my life, which is about 45 seconds. Take him out the pool, get him on the ledge. And now he doesn't go anywhere near the pool. He's like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to get splashed. I don't want to chase the water anymore. I don't want to bark at the pool floats. I'm going to stay over here. You got to let them touch the stove. I think you're right, Jason. Next trophy. The Dominic Toretto I Live My Life a Quarter Mile at a Time trophy, given out to whoever it is who made a short-term decision with no regard for future consequence. This week's winner, Chris Stapps, playing in Game 5. What are you doing, bud? Just take the day off. You're fine.
He actually said, "I will die out there."
I believe him.
I love that kind of rhetoric. At the same time, don't die out there. Don't do that. That would be
Say
a real
it.
bummer, man.
Say it, but don't really like injure yourself. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Don't die on the court. Now, as I predicted earlier in the season, Chris Stapps did tear his medial
Crazy
retinaculum
prediction.
posterior tibialis
I can't
tendon,
believe you called that.
which from everything I've read and heard about is not just a serious injury, but a weird one, like a very rare injury.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like Chris Stapps has had injury problems for basically his whole career. He was healthy with the Wizards, his wonderful season with the Wizards, but has had injury problems, is anemic, so has had also energy problems occasionally over his career. I kind of get it. I think if you're Chris Stapps, you're thinking, what am I going to get healthier as I get older?
Yeah.
Like, this is probably going to get worse. This is maybe the best it'll ever be, and I want to be out there. And so I do respect it, although you have to wonder if this will affect his career long-term going forward. But I respect it.
You hope that it doesn't do anything long-term. You understand he wanted to win this championship, obviously, but it's one thing to win a championship. It's another thing to feel like you're a part of the reason that they won the championship. Like when he went out there and played in Game 1 and just crushed the Mavs, hit every shot. It felt like was bigger than you remembered him. He had a crazy stretch. He was so happy. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. He was a big part of the reason they won Game 1. He gets to feel like that. He wanted to feel like that again when they closed it out, because he misses Game 3, which they won. He misses Game 4, which they lost. But I'm sure he was like, well, I got to get back out here because I got injured in Game 2. I want to have more time played than not played. Like I understand, but like Chris Stapps, it's fine. Like take a break. Don't hurt yourself long term. You're gonna win a title. It's gonna be fine. We're this close to crowning an NBA champ, and with the action heating up on the court, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
With same game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out as the NBA season winds down. I see that DraftKings has the Celtics odds to win the finals at minus 800. They're up to. Here's a quick stat for you, Shay. Did you know that when teams win the first 2 games of a 7-game series, they've never lost in the history of the world? It's never happened.
That sounds accurate and true to me, Jason.
I think it is true. It's true. That's right. And if you're new to DraftKings, check this out. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 6. That's code SIX for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings. The crowd is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/bball for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Next trophy, the Daniel Plainview I've abandoned my child, I've abandoned my boy trophy, which is given out to whatever it is we're temporarily giving up on for the week. This week's winner, needlessly hating the Celtics. It's out. Give up on it. It's no more.
I mean, I'll admit, I was just furious and sickened.
Furious and sickened. I
was sickened. I was sick. Watching the Celtics deservedly win their 18th title. And it's pure jealousy on my part, because I look at it and I go, God, I see what you've given others? Why not me? What have I done to not deserve your generosity that you've rained like so much confetti over other organizations, namely the Boston Celtics and others? But that said, I agree with you. Like, it's really, again, I said it before, it's inspirational. I really respect what they've done.
Yeah, it's again really neat to watch. It's fun to hate the Celtics. It's fun to make jokes about the Celtics because they're the Celtics. It's the Celtics and the Lakers. Those are the two premier franchises in the league. Of course, right. you punch up. It's always fun to punch up. Nobody's like making fun of the Bobcats. Nobody cares about the Bobcats.
Yeah, nobody cares about
We
that.
want to make fun of the Celtics. And when they win, it just kind of makes you want to make fun of them more, or hate them more.
It's like I look into the crowd, the camera pans over the crowd there at the TD Garden, and it's I see Mark Wahlberg, who has the same amount of hate crimes as the Knicks have titles. And it's like, and it's easy to dislike the Celtics, But again, they've done an incredible job.
Fans notwithstanding, they've done an incredible job. All right, let me ask a question, because this is a thing that came up at a dinner recently. Mm-hmm. The Celtics do have 18 titles, right? However, a bunch of those titles came pre-merger. Pre-modern NBA. Let's define.
There was like 9 teams in the league. Yeah.
Let's define the modern NBA as when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were drafted. That's the birth.
When people
that's the
started
birth of the modern.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. So like the Celtics won their first title, I think in like 57 or something. There were 8 teams in the league at the time. Right. They win 57, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 68, 69, 74, 70. Like, what do those titles mean in your head? Like the history books, I get it. But in your head, Jason, how much weight do those titles hold? Do you care about those titles?
I care about them. I mean, I would love to shit on them in the same way that I would love to shit on the Los Angeles Lakers claiming the Minneapolis titles.
Yeah.
But I can't. I really can't. I just feel like this is this is like the first mover advantage of a young league. If you're a team in a startup sport, a startup league, it's very often the team that wins in those early seasons will just end up dominating because there's a smaller talent pool. That said, I think we are standing on the shoulders of the accomplishments of those teams and those players. And as much as I would love to besmirch those titles that occurred, in the 50s and the early 60s, when like fucking Eisenhower was president and Bill Russell could not like go to the same places that his white teammates could go. Like that's what the country was at the time. I can't. It's really important, the contributions of those early teams and those early players. And if I was a Celtics fan, I would absolutely claim them with my whole heart. And I respect them. I appreciate them. I think you have to count them in the context that they occurred. What do you think?
If I was a Celtics fan, I would be right there with you. Of course we count those. Why would you not count those? Why? Because you guys you weren't around smart enough to start up a team when we did. Like I would of course count, but I'm not a Celtics fan, Jason, so I do not count them. I tweeted this after they went up 3-0, like, all right, listen, you're going to win another title. Congratulations. But we're not going to count any titles before the merger, before y'all drafted Bird, before Magic and Bird were in the league. And somebody was like, oh, I guess you want to get rid of the Lakers championships. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Get rid of those ones too. I happily get rid of them. Get them out of here. I don't care. I don't want those.
Okay, so the adjusted records, the Shea Serrano adjusted title records are Boston Celtics have 5 titles, 1981, 1984, 1986, 08, and 2024.
They have 5. That's it.
That's it. the Los Angeles Lakers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11
That's a lot.
titles.
That's still a lot. That's
80,
a lot.
82, 85, 87, 88, 2000, 01, 02, 09, 2010, and 2020. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
That sounds right. Now, I would like to point out we started this segment by saying we're no longer hating on the Celtics, and then immediately went to hating on the Celtics.
Oh, you did.
So
I
fast.
just want to again note. I did not. Even though I hate the Celtics, I respect what they did, and I appreciate those early titles. I was not hating.
It's pure jealousy. I wish the Spurs had 18. We could have fucking got a title in 1918 and I would still be celebrating that shit. Pure jealousy. There's no reason or logic behind it. There's no sound argument. It's just, I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't like it because it's not my team. And that's it.
Now, does the fact that the Celtics adjusted titles 5 would be the same as the San Antonio Spurs
Complete
titles
coincidence.
5? Does that have
Total coincidence.
Okay.
Next trophy. The Chief Keef, that's that shit I don't like trophy, which is given to a player team who does something and we just don't like it. We don't like it. I don't like it. This week's winner, Boston, for breaking Kyrie Irving's joy for basketball. He seems so just bummed and unhappy out there. And I didn't like it. I didn't like seeing him like that. I like flamethrower Kyrie, fun Kyrie.
In general, when Kyrie is making extended statements about the game, it probably was not a good performance by him.
Mhm.
And yeah, I agree with you. It was, I had a significant amount of excitement just to see Kyrie, the way he kind of like stormed is probably too strong a word of his playoff performance, but was really an important player and showed a defensive intensity that had been missing from his career. What would happen to when he faced his old team, who he left under circumstances that left certainly the Celtics and their fans bitter. And man, they smothered him. They just threw sand all over that fire.
Mhm.
And except for, that game 4 explosion from the entire Mavs squad, Kyrie was MIA, not a player, not an impactful player.
5 of 16 in a must-win game, 15 points. He's a minus 11 for the game. Shot 31% from the field. Shot 33% from deep. It just wasn't. It wasn't what they needed. They needed Luka and Kyrie to be Luka and Kyrie, all caps versions of themselves, and they weren't. But Kyrie especially just couldn't get it going. And after watching him just have so much fun in the Minnesota series, after watching him hit what was maybe the shot of the playoffs when he went up into like triple coverage and somehow flipped the ball up around them, and you're just like, yes, that's what I want. I want to see the little guy cutting off the heads of all the big guys. But then, man, the fucking Boston Celtics, you just can't say enough about that defense. They took all of the stuff that Dallas was doing so well and just cut it open and pulled out all of its insides. It was Kyrie especially. Just what a bummer.
I got one more thing I don't like, which is the replays of Derek White's mouth.
Oh my God.
After his face got smashed into the court. Like just a basketball coming together of bodies. But that was gross. And shouts to Derek White for staying in, much like Kristaps Porzingis saying, "I will die out here."
Yeah.
Derek White's like, "I will."
Yeah.
And
he said afterward, I would lose all my teeth for a championship, and I believe him. I believe him.
I would be like, I got to sit down, guys. We got this. Put Peyton Pritchard or somebody else in there. Like, we got it. Like, let's fix me up, Doc, because I can't look fucked up like this. But shouts to him, man. That was tough to watch.
Don't call me for 8 months while I recover from this. You figure, I bet Grant Williams watching that was like, yeah, I know that. I remember that. Remember when that happened to Grant Williams?
Yeah.
And he didn't even get a championship out of it. At least Derek White got a championship out of it.
They got him up out of there with his swiftness and couldn't wait to get Grant out of there.
Next trophy, the Step Brothers Catalina Wine Mixer Trophy, given out to the thing we're most excited about for the upcoming week. This week's winner, it's the showdown, baby. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, the third of their matchups. They play again on the 23rd, and I can't wait. I love this growing rivalry, Jason. I love it.
I think this kind of energy is so important to the league. This is two bad teams. I was watching this game and they're very rough around the edges, the Sky and the Fever. But so far, the head-to-head matchup goes to Clark 2-0 over Reese 0-2. So much will be said about the flagrant one foul. Angel Reese hitting Clark on the head. That's just like a thing that happens in basketball.
What are we doing?
That was a deserved flagrant one, but no more than that, because I mean it was just that
she tried to block it. She tried to block it. Very clearly tried to block it.
Deserved foul. No, we don't need to talk about it more than that, because if you watch basketball, it happens almost every game. But I think the energy around that, the reason that people want to talk about this matchup is it's really cool to see this kind of energy in the W with so many eyes on it, a lot of dummies talking about it, but this will be a fun matchup to watch going forward.
Do you have YouTube TV or do you have some other?
I have YouTube TV.
Okay, so I have YouTube TV also, and when you turn it on and you click your profile, and then it shows you just based on what you've watched before. This is on right now. You might like to watch this or whatever. Yep. But I turn the TV on, and then you see right there the first tile that popped up: Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky. And literally out loud, I said, "Oh fuck yeah!" And clicked it on because I wanted to see Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. I was just excited to watch it. The thing of all of these new fans coming in with this incredible rookie class, what makes it so great is all of these new people get to attach themselves to a new player. The first year I started watching the WNBA was the year A'ja Wilson was drafted, and I was like, "All right, I'm going to attach myself to A'ja Wilson." I always prefer bigs. I like big players who play like big players. I like a dominating post player. It's my favorite kind of basketball player to watch. And so she goes in there and I get to attach myself to her. And the first year they didn't make the playoffs. The next year they squeaked into the playoff. They just kept getting better and better every year. And it was just getting more and more fun and more exciting. And the same thing is happening here with so many people attaching themselves to Caitlin or to Angel or to Cameron or whoever. And it's really great. But this rivalry right here, these two who don't like each other, it's the best player rivalry in the league probably right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's great. It's great. It's so good. Fucking really great. Yes. Let them fight. Not fight, but basketball fight.
Not fight.
Not fight.
Fight for wins.
Yeah, fight for wins. That's good. Fight for wins. You want to do the little trophies?
Let's do it.
Yes, let's do the little trophies. These ones change each week and are situation specific. They're for the smaller storylines that we want to mention, but don't need to get all the way into. My first little trophy, we were just talking about them right now. The Julia Roberts in Leave the World Behind. What the fuck? Are those your teeth? Trophy. To Derek White, because he got his teeth smashed out of his head. Jason, did you watch Leave the World Behind?
I did not watch Leave the World
Behind. My God. It's such a good movie, Jason. Go watch it. I love an end of the world kind of movie. And in this one, there's a family, they go stay at an Airbnb. And then while they're there, somebody attacks the United States. And they don't know who it is, but somebody attacks the United States. They cut off all communication, all the towers, no cell phones work, no GPS, no anything. And then at one point, the son in the family, his teeth, like he wakes up in bed and he's like, whoa, what the? And he like spits out some like bloody goop. And then he touches at his teeth and then one of them just falls out. And then he touches it. Then they all just start falling out of his mouth. And when I watched it, I thought it was this is a dream sequence. He's about to wake himself up, right? Nope, that's real life. That happened to him. Just the rest of the movie, no teeth. Fucking crazy.
My first little trophy is the half-baked fuck you, you're cool trophy to Jeff Van Gundy, who gets a ring as a consultant for the Boston Celtics. Jeff has been really transparent about the fact that he was in a really tough place after getting fired for ESPN and having a lot of other personal issues. occur in his private life. And the Celtics came and gave him a job, gave him a direction, let him get plugged back into basketball again. And it's just, I'm happy for him that he got a win. He got a ring and that
a job. He just got a job.
Scooped up. Yeah. And he just got a job as a member of the Clippers staff now.
Clippers lead assistant. Shout out Jeff. Go get it, Jeff. Go get it, Jeff. Slide in there like Mazzulla did. Now you're going to be the head coach of the Clippers soon. You pull a Mazzulla, slide in there, get yourself a ring with the Clips. Come on. My next little trophy. The Demi Moore and G.I. Jane Master Chief Suck My trophy. Great movie. To comedian Hannah Einbender, who she had a new comedy special come out. She's really funny. I don't know if you've ever watched her. She's a funny,
big fan of hers.
Yeah. Breakout star, a funny weirdo. We love a funny weirdo. She was asked recently on the red carpet of her new special about detractors of the WNBA, and her response was, "Can I curse on here?" I believe she's talking to Jezebel. "Can I curse on here?" I would just say, if you don't like WNBA, you can absolutely and no one gives a fuck about you. And you should shut the fuck up and sit down. That's what I would say. Shout out Hannah.
My next little trophy is the Rita Ora in the Fast and the Furious 6. Listen up! Out here, we're used to getting what we want. This is London, baby. But don't bite the bait. Are you ready? Trophy 2. To the new free agency rules, new for this offseason, per the CBA, teams now do not have to wait for the quote-unquote moratorium period to start negotiating with their own free agents. They can do that immediately, right after the NBA Finals ends. Now, we must admit that teams were doing this anyway. They were already doing it. They were already negotiating with their free agents under the table. Everybody knows it. Everybody understands it. But now it's out in the open, and you can start doing it right away. Start your engines. Here we go.
Well, I really appreciate a London accent. Because they always say something that I don't understand what it means, or what does, but don't bite the bait. I don't know.
I think it means don't. I think it means don't jump early. Like don't go early.
Who knows? You never. They don't know. They just say good. Something to the like. You'll be like, "Hey, check out my new car," and then they look at it. They're like, "Got a bit of cheese on it, doesn't it?" What? Bit of cheese on it? What are you talking about? You're just saying stuff, but it always sounds so cool. Shout out London. All right, my last little trophy. The Ice-T and Chappelle show. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like real hating, man. That's like an art form, man. You know, it's like you're like a born hater. To Lakers legend, the logo, Jerry West, who passed away. He saw the Celtics were about to win a championship, and he was like, "Fuck this. I'm out of here. Before I have to see it, I'm out of here."
That's absolute legend.
All world, all first class hating right there. Just, I aspire to be like Jerry West, my hero.
It was always notable to me how the league never, ever confirmed
officially,
that Jerry West, as we all know, is the logo of the NBA. Because if they did, Jerry West would be
$45 billion they owe him.
Would be looking at significant royalties for the use of his likeness. Man, shouts to the legend Jerry West. My final little trophy is the Darude Sandstorm Trophy to the New York Liberty, who comprehensively shit on the Las Vegas Aces. Currently sitting at 6-6, the Las Vegas Aces inspired their star Angel Wilson to give a tearful apology for how she could be a better superstar to the middling Las Vegas Aces 6-6. Meanwhile, the New York Liberty, the team to beat, 8-game winning streak. Shouts to the Liberty, baby, who have the Aces mired in a sandstorm. They don't know which way is up, which way is down. They don't know where they are. All they know is their best players crying in the middle of the season, apologizing to our whole team. Oh my God, what is going on?
Congratulations. Congratulations on your big regular season victory. What a huge accomplishment this is, to win a regular season game in June. Way to go, New York Liberty. We did it again, Jason. Another perfect episode. Another perfect episode. We close every episode just by saying the names of underappreciated old basketball players with no context at all, while the theme music carries us out. Jerry, will you play the theme music, please? I'm Shea Serrano. That's Jason Concepcion. Producer Zuri in the shadows making the noises. See y'all next Wednesday. Ray Allen. The 2008 Celtics.
In honor of Mike Breen misidentifying Lauren Holiday, the partner of Drew Holiday, I'm going to do power couples.
Oh, okay.
Drew Holiday and Lauren Holiday. Drew, NBA champion, and Lauren Holiday, two-time Olympic gold medalist, World Cup champion. Women's national team.
PJ Brown.